School of Golf is back in session. I'm Blair O'Neal alongside the Professor Martin Hall, and I'm not sure if he wants to play golf or play fetch. What's going on here?
I'm actually going to use a doggy toy. Look, this is an MH-inspired drill. A lot of people, too many people, will overfold their trail arm on the backswing, and that makes strong golf really difficult. They will swing back and unknowingly they'll bend both arms too much, the elbows come apart too much. So, should you be inclined, you could get a doggy toy, strap it to your trail arm, and see if you can make a swing where you keep sufficient width that there's no... Don't want any of that stuff.
No squeaking.
No squeaky. Let's
swing.
see what we've got. Let's start this year strong.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. That'll start the year strong. You keep that right arm, trail arm from bending too much, and you will have a much better season than you can imagine.
Thanks for joining us on School of Golf out on the range at the Dye Preserve Golf Club in Jupiter, Florida. 15 seasons, 418 episodes, and still going strong. Can you believe it, Martin? That's amazing.
It just exceeded all expectations, so much more in so many ways than I could ever have imagined.
Very cool.
But still, we're starting this year, start the year strong. Really important for people to do that, for keen golfers. I want to start this with some shafts and strings, and people might be thinking, that crazy Martin, he's doing it again. Actually, it's not crazy Martin. I was at the BMW International last September. Very special course to me, Wentworth, where that's played. And I was watching Justin Rose practice, and he was practicing not on a practice day. This was the station he had 40 minutes before teeing off in his second round.
Wow.
Now, what was he doing, and why did he have his caddy, Mark Fulcher, put all this stuff out? Blair, if you will set up to that golf ball, if we want to have a strong start to the year, we have to have good habits. What were the habits that Justin was doing? And I would recommend doing some of this, if not all of this. Number one, a stick for ball position. Not that it's a problem for you, but if you're hitting a 7-iron like you're hitting here, a couple of inches inside your lead heel. This I thought was fascinating to me. Justin had a string on the ground here, and that's his target line.
I love that.
Now, the target line to me is the most important line in golf. Everything we do has a relationship to that target line. He had another stick here, which would give him the start line of his golf ball. And then he had a third stick back here, which would actually give him his swing line. So he had target line, start line, swing line. Let's see you hit one, then I might just have a few props over there to bring over. It's possible. Let's just see if you can hit a nice straightish shot and see what we get.
All right.
Yeah, that was really nice, wasn't it? You enjoyed that one, didn't you?
I like the setup. I could see it all.
So look, I think there's a definite procedure here to start this year strong. Number one, get a piece of string. It doesn't have to be as long as this. We're doing this so you can clearly see it at home. But get a piece of string here. This is your target line. And you want to aim the face first and the feet follow. Let's just go over that. We want to aim the club face first and then take the stance. Face first, feet follow. Rotate your head so your eyes can come along this target line, and you get a connection to your target. Golf is a target game. You know, we have to have some awareness of the target.
I love the visuals here.
Incredible visuals, and that's why major champion, and goodness knows how many times he's played in the Ryder Cup, Justin Rose, that's why he was doing this. Number one would be that you get face first, feet follow. Now, the second stick that I think is really important is the vertical stick there, because it gives you some idea of what the club face is doing. Now, I told you I'd have some props, didn't I? Well, yes, I have.
Always something.
I don't know if you were a baseball player when you were a kid.
I was not.
Neither
I'll give it a try.
Neither was I, because I came from England. However, I've got a baseball bat, and you can see I've taped one side white, one side red. Nicky Price, when he was #1, just hold on to that, when he was #1 golfer in the world, would travel around the world with a baseball bat. I don't know if it's red and white. But here's what's important. The golf ball will start almost entirely on the angle of the face. And you can see from this face on camera, in a good swing, the club is going to turn. You cannot play golf keeping the club square. So swinging with a baseball bat that has some tape on it will give you the sense of how much that club should turn. Now just have a few swings for me. We're not going to hit the ball with the baseball bat.
I like it because you can really see that rotation.
Yeah, and you know, some people say you keep the face square. We want it square when you hit the ball.
Okay.
And it's a very good thing to practice at home. I wouldn't do this just before you hit the ball because the club's going to feel really, really light.
Right.
When I give you your club back here, you're going to feel like you've got a toothpick.
This does feel heavy, yeah.
Well, it's because it is. So if I give you that back, a quick tip here actually, if at some point you use a heavy club, turn the club upside down, Blair, and just swing that back and forth 5 times, 3 or 4 or 5 times to get the weight of that. But the sense of a bat rotating or the shaft rotating is very important to get the ball starting more or less over that stick.
Okay.
So let's see if we can do that.
Club face first, feet.
Club might feel really light to you. I'm not saying it won't. Very well done. Very well done indeed.
It felt very light.
Yeah, it would feel very light. That's why you wouldn't do something like that just before you go and play.
Yes.
Now, we'll just trade places because I'll do the last one here. This angle here is something that Justin Rose and every good player I've ever known works on. Call it the swing line, the swing plane. You know, so the club would go up that angle, come down that angle, hopefully into the ball, starting it, sending it down that line, up the angle, down the angle. How do you find that angle? Here's the way I like students to do it. A simple thought this, if you took a hula hoop and just held it in front of you, like so, and I put it about level to the ground, you can see I'm swinging that club about on a plane, a sort of a horizontal circle there. If I then tilt that a bit more to the ground, not quite the angle of the alignment stick, but it gives me a sense of the angle, and then eventually I bring it down. So when you're on the golf course, what could you do? You could have a few practice swings up here, then you could work it down to here, and then you can work it down to here. And if you put those 3 things together, if you put the start line, the target line, if you put your face first, feet follow, use your eyes to track down that line. If you think about how a golf club has to rotate red to white, as I demonstrated, to get the ball about straight, and then you think of swinging on an angle, which I bring down, and I bring down some more. If you do those 3 things, there is every probability that you'll have a very strong start to your year. Let's see what I get. Nice. Doesn't get any straighter than that.
I'm gonna say right on the line.
Yeah. So to have a really strong year, whether it's Blair O'Neal, Martin Hall, or you behind that camera that I'm looking at, to have a really strong year, you need to know where your target line is, use a string. You need to know where your start line is, think of the bat moving red to white, and you need to know where your swing line is, the angle on which we swing. If you improve each of those, target line, start line, and swing line, you will play better.